Hi and welcome back to Free Science Lessons. By the end of this video, you should be able to describe the role of tumour suppressor genes in cancer. You should then be able to describe the effect of abnormal methylation of tumour suppressor genes and oncogenes. In the last video, we looked at proto-oncogenes and oncogenes. Remember that proto-oncogenes are genes involved in the regulation of mitosis. Proto-oncogenes are involved in controlling when mitosis is triggered to take place and when mitosis is triggered to stop. For example, some proto-oncogenes encode growth factors, whereas other proto-oncogenes encode for growth factor receptors. Now, just like any gene, proto-oncogenes can undergo mutations. This can lead to uncontrolled mitosis and cancer, and in this case, scientists now call the mutated gene an oncogene. Now, in this video, we're looking at another group of genes which regulate cell division. These are called tumour suppressor genes. However, unlike oncogenes, tumour suppressor genes inhibit or slow down cell division. Now, this is especially important in cells which have damaged or mutated DNA. If these cells were allowed to divide, then this could result in the formation of a tumour. So, tumour suppressor genes prevent cells with mutated DNA from passing through the cell cycle. Tumour suppressor genes can also play a role in repairing mutated DNA, for example in repairing breaks to the DNA strands. And if the DNA is severely mutated, then tumour suppressor genes can trigger a cell to die. Scientists call this process programmed cell death or apoptosis. Now, just like any genes, tumour suppressor genes can undergo mutations, and as a result, a tumour suppressor gene may no longer function effectively. In this case, the tumour suppressor gene has been inactivated and can no longer inhibit cell division. So, in the presence of a mutated tumour suppressor gene, the cell may divide to form a tumour. Now, there are a large number of tumour suppressor genes in the human genome. This includes the genes BRCA1 and BRCA2, which, when mutated, increase the risk of developing certain forms of breast cancer. Now, in some cases, a person may inherit a mutated tumour suppressor gene. However, most mutations to tumour suppressor genes are acquired in a person's lifetime. A good example is the tumour suppressor gene TP53, which produces the protein p53. It's thought that mutations to TP53 may represent more than 50% of gene mutations linked to cancer, and we find mutated TP53 in a range of different cancers, including breast cancer, colorectal cancer, and lung cancer. Normal p53 protein has a number of functions. If a cell contains damaged or mutated DNA, then p53 prevents the cell from passing through the cell cycle. This gives the cell time to repair the DNA damage. However, if the DNA damage is too great, then p53 triggers the cell to undergo programmed cell death. And remember that programmed cell death is also called apoptosis. In this way, p53 prevents the cell from forming a tumour. Now, mutations to the TP53 gene can lead to a non-functional p53 protein, and this can result in the formation of a tumour. So as you can see, tumour suppressor genes reduce the chances of developing cancer. However, if tumour suppressor genes are inactivated, then this can lead to cancer developing. Okay, now another factor that can affect the risk of developing cancer is abnormal DNA methylation, and we looked at DNA methylation in the video on epigenetics. Remember that cytosine bases in DNA can undergo methylation. Now, if methylation takes place in the promoter region of a gene, then this can inhibit transcription of that gene. In some cases, excessive DNA methylation can take place. Scientists call this hypermethylation. I'm showing you here a tumour suppressor gene and its promoter. Under normal conditions, the promoter triggers transcription of the tumour suppressor gene. Translation takes place to produce the protein, and the protein carries out its role in controlling the cell cycle. In this case, the promoter has underwent hypermethylation. Now, transcription of the tumour suppressor gene is inhibited. In other words, the tumour suppressor gene is silenced. As a result, the rate of cell division increases and a tumour forms. A number of tumour suppressor genes may undergo abnormal methylation. For example, BRCA1, which is involved in certain breast cancers. Now, abnormal methylation of oncogenes can also lead to cancer. However, in this case, the oncogenes undergo hypomethylation. In other words, the level of DNA methylation is less than normal. Reduced DNA methylation means that transcription of the oncogene is increased. So in this case, the cell contains a high level of the protein encoded by the oncogene. This means that the cell is more likely to undergo cell division and form a tumour. Okay, so hopefully now you can describe the role of tumour suppressor genes and abnormal DNA methylation in the development of cancer.